have to start because I mean we're all using our data here. So let's start. Give me 1 second. Let me connect my laptop. I mean, what did we learn last time on internal medicine? Internal medicine. A revision on internal medicine. Who is starting for us? Let's be fast about it. Hey, hello. Are we
Sir,
here?
we are
Are
here.
we, yeah, who is starting for us on internal medicine? What we talked about last time. Yeah, Ingrid.
Yes, sir. Greetings. So, we learned about the function of the heart.
Okay.
Yes, and we learned about the flow of the blood, um, and the function of the heart. So, the blood oxygen blood flows from the center to the rest of the body,
Okay.
and blood that needs to be oxygenated flows uh, from the veins and goes into the right uh, side, right top left, the top side, um, and goes into the right ventricle. That flows into the left ventricle. Then it goes into the pulmonary artery to the heart. Sorry, to the lungs to pick up oxygen. Once it's oxygenated, it comes back into the heart via the
Yes.
left the left um, um, the top left one, and then it goes back to the aorta. I'm sorry, my brain just left out the big one.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good
Thank
one. Yes, any other? What we learned the last time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Pia, let's have you.
I also remember that you said the cardiac cycle, the duration per cycle is about 0.8 seconds, and the heartbeat is about 75 beat per minute. And you said that with the systolic, it occurs when the ventricle and the atria contract, and the diastolic occurs when it's a period where the ventricle and the atria relax. That is relaxing is when they are receiving the blood, and contraction is when they are pumping the blood. That's what I remember.
That's a very good one. That's a very good one. Any other? At least I'm happy. Two of you have said something. I mean, you are not beating about the bush. You are going straight to whatever we talked about, and I mean that's a very good one. Yes. Any other person? Any other person? Okay. So let's continue for today. Today we are talking about. I would have to ventricular filling and all those ones. We'll skip some of the slide. Okay. There's some areas that I want you to know. So in summary, we are saying that all we talked about the physiology of the heart and how the heart functions and everything, we are saying that in a summary, this is a summary, very important slide. Direct power of the heart's ejection. We say ventricular pressure, aortic to aortic pressure. So the direct power of the heart ejection. I mean, ejection is about the blood leaving the heart. It is from the ventricular pressure to the what? Uh, aortic pressure. I don't know if you understand. I'm saying that the direct power of the heart injection, I mean, the blood leaving the heart, it is pumping, mostly pump the majority of the power stems from the ventricle, then to the what? To the aorta, either from the right ventricle to the pulmonary artery, or the left ventricle to the what? To the aorta. But then it's sent from the ventricle to the what? To the arteries. Then the original power is ventricular contraction. So original power of the heart stems from what? Ventricular contraction. If the ventricles do not contract, any activity of the heart will not function very well. They are saying that direct power of the heart's filling. So when the heart is filling up, it is from the atrial pressure to the ventricular pressure. Atrial pressure to ventricular pressure, meaning that when the heart is filling up, the pressure stems from the what? The pressure in the atria is more, and so opens up into the ventricles. That is when the heart is filling up. But when the heart is contracting, the pressure comes from down to up, from the ventricles to the what? To the atrium. I don't know if you are picturing it. Look at it. Look at this one. When the pressure is up during filling, it's from the atria to the ventricle. Then when it's contracting from the ventricle to the atrium. Do you get that? Call them to join class. So we have started already. I'm going to teach a very important slide today. The direction of blood flow, one-way opening and closing of the heart valves. Then the original power of the heart filling is what? Is mainly by what? Ventricular relaxing. So it is when there is what? So when there is ejection, there is what? Ventricular contraction. That is the original power. Then when there is what? Filling up, the ventricles will what? Will relax. You understand? They are relaxing because they are now filling up. Then we have direction of blood flow. One way opening and closing of the heart valves. So we made you know that what? The valves are what? Are unidirectional. They don't flow in and out. No, when they flow out, they close. When they flow in, they close. They don't flow in and out. You understand? Do you understand? So you're saying that heart sounds. Number 3. So how do we hear the heart sound? The systolic and the diastolic that you are talking about. The first heart sound, that is the systolic. He said the heart sound produced by the contraction of the heart, that is the systolic. The first heart sound, characteristic, lower and longer. So the first heart sound is lower and longer. Closure of the AV valves, atrioventricular valves, is formed when there is what? When the atrioventricular valves are closed. Then we have marks the beginning of what? A ventricular systole. When there is systolic, the one we have been using systolic is systolic. Then we have what? We are just describing the what? The so it's characterized by a lower and a longer what? It lasts long. I mean, when you hear it, when you hear the systolic, it will last a very long time before you hear the next one. Then it's formed by what? Closure of the AV valves, atrioventricular valve. What are the atrioventricular valves? What are the atrioventricular valves? Who knows them? What are the atrioventricular valves? So the first heart sound marks the what? Yes, Ingrid.
Yes, those are the valves that open one way when the blood is flowing.
No, I mean, I want their names. What are the atrioventricular valves?
Oh, okay, yeah, for that. You mean the specific names of the valves?
Yes.
Okay. They are the
We have four of them. We have the
On the bottom right, on the right side, which is the left atrium, there is a mitral valve,
okay.
and on the left side, there is a tricuspid valve.
Yes, so there are two. We have the
Yeah.
atria, we have the, so we put it there. We have the
Mitral,
bicuspid and the tricuspid. Okay, so
yeah. And the tricuspid is tri for 3, and mitral is bicuspid, which is like I guess two valves, two flaps on the.
Then we have the second. That's all right. We have the second heart sound. We have the, it says higher and shorter closure of atrial valves. Closure of the what? Of the atrial valves. Then marks the what? Beginning of what? Ventricular diastole. So when there's a diastole, you hear the second heart sound. So the labdab, the labdab, the labdab, labdab, labdab. The second one is the what? Is the diastole. Let's continue. Now let's look at one important slide here. We're looking at what we call the stroke volume. Stroke volume. When we say stroke volume, what is stroke volume? Okay, so I'm going to use an analogy. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you picture it that way. Okay. So this is how I think. We're going to talk about stroke volume. We'll talk about, so we say SV, that's stroke volume, because EDV means end diastolic volume. Now let's read it. We say stroke volume is 70 mils. Okay, let me put it. Just forget about it. So let's look at the end diastolic volume. We say end diastolic volume, the blood volume in each ventricle at the end of a diastole. So we are saying that at the end of a diastole, after the heart is relaxed and is receiving the water, receiving the blood, that volume is called the end diastolic volume. Now we are talking about the end systolic volume. It's what? It is the blood remaining in each ventricle at the end of a systole. After every contraction, the amount of blood that is left is what? This one. I'll explain, don't worry. So we are saying that EDV minus ESV equals what? Stroke volume. Now picture it this way. Picture, if you are in the house, you can pick a bottle of water, okay? Just pick a bottle of water. I mean, how do you call it? Bottled water. Okay, just picture it, the bottled water, not the one in the normal plastic bottled waters. I mean, the one you can squeeze. Okay, so imagine yourself holding this bottled water. So when you have the bottled water which has not been squeezed, the whole bottle is what? Is the end diastolic volume. Please take note. I'm not going to be repeating plenty. Just be quiet and listen. When you open one bottle of water bottle, the end diastolic volume is the what? The end diastolic volume is the bottle that has not been how do you call it? That has not been compressed. Now, imagine yourself squeezing the middle part of the bottle. So when you squeeze the middle part, what will happen? Some amount of the water will seep out, right? Are you there? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just open the bottle.
Yes, sir. We are following.
So I just want to make you understand the stroke volume. Just open the bottle. When you open the bottle, as you open it with the water inside, is the what? Is the end diastolic volume. Okay, that is at a relaxed state, a non-contracted state. It has not been contracted. It is just there. So that is the EDV. Now, when you press it, you realize that some of the water will be displaced, right? So the water that gets displaced is the what? The remaining becomes the what? end systolic volume. Why is it end systolic volume? Because you have contracted it. So it's a systole. Now, the amount of water that went out of the bottle becomes your stroke volume. So how do you know the one that went out of the bottle? You are going to what? Subtract the total amount, the full bottle of water from the one that is left. I mean, you are going to subtract the one that is left from the full bottle of water. So you bought a full Baltic bottle, then you squeeze it, and some got displaced. An amount got, let's say about 1/3 of it got displaced. You understand? Then it was remained with some inside. So how do you know the one that was displaced? You will have to what? Subtract the leftover from the whole thing. So if you subtract the leftover from the whole thing, you know the one that what? That fell off. The one that fell off is the stroke volume. Okay? So we say the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle with each heartbeat. So as a heartbeat, with each heartbeat. So we are saying that the how do you call it? The lambda, that 8 seconds, within that 8 seconds, that 8 seconds, the stroke volume is what we are talking about. So we are saying that stroke volume is what? The amount of blood pumped by each ventricle with each heartbeat. So as you contract the ventricle, so the contractility is your hand using your hand to press the bottle. Now the amount that went off is the stroke volume. Now the systolic volume or the diastolic volume was the full bottle which was not touched. The systolic volume becomes the one that is left after you have displaced some. So it means that now your stroke volume, the amount that fell off, becomes the what? So let's look at it. We are saying that what? Now let's use the values. We say stroke volume is what? 70 mils. But this is what happens. We are saying that the end diastolic volume, the blood volume in each ventricle at the end of. So what you have, the bottle is standing for what? For your heart. The bottle is standing there for your heart. So you're saying that the blood volume in each ventricle, the blood volume in the bottle at the end of a diastole, I mean, at the point where you have not contracted, is 135. You understand? The blood volume in each bottle at the point where you have not contracted, that is what? At the end of a diastole, at the end where the heart is not contracted, where the heart is filling up, was 135. Now we are saying that at the end, the blood volume remaining in each ventricle at the end of a systole. So the blood that was remained after you have pressed the bottle, after the contraction, was left with 65 mils. So how do you know the one that went out? It's going to be what? 135 minus 65, right? Then you get your what? You get your one that went out. So the stroke volume is what? Is the amount of blood that is dissipated or that is ejected from the heart at each ventricle, at each contraction. You understand? At each heartbeat, or with that is pumped by the ventricle at each heartbeat. So that is what? That is stroke volume. Do you understand now? So the amount of blood that goes out after the contraction is the stroke volume. So just use the analogy of the bottle to do it. So that becomes the stroke volume. Now we are saying that we are looking for what? Ejection fraction. So we are saying that if you want to express the stroke volume as a fraction, now we will give it a different name. We will call it what? Ejection fraction. These are terms that in you will use. I mean, you need to know about them. If you're talking about the heart, you talk about stroke volume, you talk about ejection fraction, you talk about cardiac output. There are some terms that when you know we are communicating, you understand. You understand? We use it. So it's something that you should know. That's why I'm taking time to show you. So that is stroke volume. Now we are saying that ejection fraction. Ejection fraction is what? It's just by what? Expressing or finding the percentage of the stroke volume from the what? From the whole bottle. Now we are saying that when you're talking about ejection fraction, we are saying we want to know the amount that fell off, the stroke volume that fell off. We want to express it as a what? As a percentage. So ejection fraction is just by expressing stroke volume as a percentage. So if you want to express stroke volume as a percentage, it means that it's going to be what? The amount that went off over the total amount by 100. You understand? So in heart failure, we are going to talk about ejection fraction. We say ejection fraction of what? 30%, ejection fraction of 20%, ejection fraction of 45%. How do we calculate that? We are using the stroke volume, the amount that was dissipated after the contraction. Then we are going to express that as a percentage of the total. Ingrid, do you understand? Madam Ingrid, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Lady Zuzu, are you okay? Hey, Charlotte Bokowie.
Oyebolo.
Oyebolo. Are you
Yes.
okay? Do you understand?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm following. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Emmanuel, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine. So that is the ejection fraction is what you're going to use ejection, but that's what I'm showing you. I'm making you know.
Sir, please, I'm here.
Are you okay?
Yes, I am.
So the ejection fraction is what is the percentage. I mean, expressing the stroke volume as a percentage. So it's going to be, so if you want to know the percentage of water or of blood that was sent out, just express the stroke volume as what? What's up? Kind of. Why you want to say something? Why this speaking? Excuse me, please. Yeah, so that is it. So that's expressing the stroke volume as what? As a percentage. That's all. Do you understand that one? Now there's another term we call cardiac output. In heart failure, we talk about the cardiac output. We say when there's a low cardiac output, low cardiac output. What does it mean? So cardiac output is going to be what? Now we are saying that cardiac output is. Hey, you can't hear me? Someone is in my network. Is it me or you?
No,
Can
sir,
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So we're saying that cardiac, I want to talk about cardiac output because these are terminologies we are going to be using. So now you know stroke volume, right? So we are saying that cardiac output is what? Stroke volume times your what? Times the heart rate. So the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle in 1 minute. Do you know that the stroke volume is occurring in just 8 seconds, right? Right? It's occurring in 8 seconds. Within 8 seconds, it's okay. The cardiac cycle takes 8 seconds. Now we are saying that 8 seconds are 1 minute. So if you want to know the heart rate, we calculate the heart rate, the pulse, beats per minute. We say pulse is what? Comes in what? In beat per minute. So someone's heart rate, let's say you say somebody's heart rate is 78 beat per minute, 98 beat per minute. It was calculated in 1 minute. So if you want to calculate the cardiac output, it is what? Stroke volume times heart rate. Do you understand? So that will give you the cardiac output in what? In liters per minute. So for instance, the average one is what? 5.2 liters per minute. So stroke volume in what? In liters, then heart rate in what? In minutes. So you multiply it, then you leave the what? The unit in what? Liters per minute. So that becomes the cardiac output. So when we say cardiac, we say the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle in 1 minute. So the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle is what? That is what? That is a stroke volume in 1 minute times heart rate. Heart rate is 1 minute. Do you understand? Yeah. So that is it. Any question? These three terms, these three terminologies, I wanted you to understand. Mr. Komi Soku, how are you doing? It's been a while.
Yes, I'm fine, sir. How are
Yeah.
you too?
I'm good by God's grace. Let's have you.
Yes, just I want to come in to clarify this. This stroke is not a disease stroke that we are talking about.
Oh no.
Yes, it
No,
is
no, no.
the heartbeat. How
No, you see the stroke volume. If you want to know the origin, it's just it's just a name. It's a name we are giving to.
uh-huh.
It's not. It doesn't associate with anything like stroke. No, there's nothing
Okay.
relation like stroke. No, you understand?
Thank you,
It's not
sir.
associated with a disease stroke. I'm not saying that. No. We are talking about maybe stroke. The name, the disease stroke, may have come from this. You know, these inventions, these names, this Newton's law and all those things, of Bowles law, Bowles law, all the laws that we have, they come from people who invented it. So it will surprise you that maybe the one who invented this one might be called something stroke. Then he says stroke volume. Do you understand? So it's not, it is not, we are not talking about the condition stroke. No, it's a name we give it. We are saying that the amount of blood that leaves the heart after every contraction is what is it's called a stroke volume. You understand? All right, Madam Zara too. Yakubu, your hand is up. But Mr.
Yes,
Komi,
please.
do you understand the explanation?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's
I
fine.
do.
That's the most important. That's the most important.
I want to understand this. The EF and the, how do you call it? The EF, I was confused about it. The ejection function.
Ejection fraction.
Fraction, yes. Means what, sir?
Okay. Let me go over once again. We are saying that ejection fraction is. Do you understand stroke volume?
Yes.
Were you here when I was explaining with the bottle?
Yes, I even got the bottle on the screen.
Oh, then you should understand yourself.
And I
Anyways.
was pumping I was pumping the bottle and see how it is.
So when you pump the bottle, the water that went out is your stroke volume. Do you understand that one?
Okay, I understand
So
that
if
one.
you want to know the water that fell off, you will have to what? Subtract the one that is left from the total. Then you know because the one that fell down, you can't go and pick it up and count. But you can know how because you know the total. So if you know the total, you can just subtract the leftover from the total. Then you know the one that fell off, right? Are you okay? Hey, is she here? I'm working with you. You are the one who asked the question. Is she here? Okay.
Yes, please. I said I even calculated the 130. Yeah. 130, I subtracted 65 from it and I got 70 exactly as yours.
Yeah. Then I'm saying that now, so you have understood the stroke volume, right?
Hello?
Hey, yeah,
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I'm listening, sir. I wasn't
Then,
able to hear
if
you.
you want to know the ejection fraction, it's going to be the stroke volume, the one that's the 70 you got over the 135.
Okay.
Times 100 expressed you want to put it in you want to know the percentage. Okay, this one is just like expressing it in a percentage form. So if you want to know the percentage of ejection fraction, is the percentage of what? Of stroke volume. You understand?
Okay.
Ejection fraction means percentage of stroke volume, the percentage of end diastolic volume occupied by stroke volume. So it's just the percentage of stroke volume. You understand? It just means expressing the
sir.
stroke volume as a percentage. So what if you want to express something as a percentage? It's going to be what? That portion over the total by 100, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you,
Then
sir.
So that becomes, so ejection fraction is just expressing the 70% as a percentage. So it's going to be 70 over 135 times 100. Right? Are you okay? Then we talk about the cardiac output. Even this one, even if I don't, I mean, you should be able to know this with the analogy of the bottle. You should be able to know this one off head. Just use the analogy of the bottle.
Yes, please. Yes, please. That short words, CO means cardiac output, and stroke volume is the SV. I know confusing, but you see, I'm okay with it.
All right, that's fine. Then we talk about cardiac output. You say the cardiac output is what? Is the amount that went multiplied by the number of times the heart will beat. Do you understand? The stroke volume that you saw was just lapped up, just one. The 70 mils that you are seeing is just for one. And we are saying that the heart beats how many times? The heart beats what? The heart beats are what?
8 seconds.
Yes. So the chambers, so the cardiac cycle is what? 8 seconds.
Yes.
The duration of it is 8 seconds at a heart rate of what? 70 beats per minute averagely.
70 beats.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you want to know cardiac output, it's going to be this one. The 8 seconds times 75. And the 8 seconds is what? Is the stroke volume times the heartbeat. That gives you the cardiac output. Do you understand? So cardiac output is going to be what? Cardiac output is going to be what? Stroke volume times what? Heart rate. Do you understand now? So cardiac output is the amount of blood pumped by each ventricle in 1 minute. So it's just stroke volume times what? Times the heart rate. Because the stroke volume is just the 8 seconds. So how many 8 seconds would you get in 1 minute? That becomes your cardiac output. So when we say there's a low cardiac output, it means that what? There is a lower, so when cardiac output is low, it means that what? Stroke volume is low and heart rate is low because they are directly proportional to the cardiac output. When the heart rate is down, cardiac output will be down. And when the stroke volume too is down, cardiac output will be down. Even when the stroke volume is down and the heart rate are the same, still cardiac output will be low. Do you understand? Because these two come together to form that. Olumide.
Thank you for that. I have a question. Does this imply that each ventricle can have a different cardiac output? It says the amount of blood
this cardiac cycle, no. I mean, the cardiac output, the cardiac output is occurring. If we are talking about the cardiac output, our focus is mainly at the what? At the left ventricle. You understand? Because that is what. But I mean, the whole thing happens within that 8 seconds. The whole thing is happening. So the focus is mostly at the left ventricle because that is where it supplies to all parts of the body.
Okay.
You understand? Yes, but then the cycle is occurring in every ventricle. Look at it.
Okay.
So you're saying that the ventricles, we have 0.3 seconds and the diastole are 0.7 seconds. Then we at the atria
Okay.
0.1 seconds, 0.1 seconds. So the cardiac cycle, it occurs in both of them, but then our focus is on the left side, the left ventricle, because that
Okay.
is where the final parts, the blood is ready to go to all parts of the body.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, thank you. Good.
Why is it important?
Okay.
Why is the stroke volume important?
Why is it important?
Yes, please.
But you should answer this one for me. Why is it important? Now you know stroke volume. So why is stroke volume important? You should answer this one for me. Yeah, you brought your question. So answer it for me. Why do you think stroke volume is important? Okay, let me ask you this one. If stroke volume is low, will it be a problem to the body?
Yes, please.
Okay, so why is stroke volume important? Is it Madam Olumide or who is asking the question? Is it Christiana?
Madam Dorcas.
Okay, I didn't see your hand, that's why. Anyways. Oh, you are not answering for me. When the stroke volume is low, it means that there's going to be what? Hypoperfusion. Blood cannot reach all parts of the body. For instance, the body needs 70 mils, and now 30 mils is what is being dissipated. Do you understand? So if the body needs 70 mils, and now stroke
Yes.
volume is low, we are getting 30 mils from the heart.
Yes.
So that what now you understand what the implication is going to be like.
Yes.
So that answers your question. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Comey, your hand was up.
Sir, it's to answer that question, but you have answered it already. So
That's fine.
Yes.
Madam Olumide, I should get your
Yes.
name. Olumide.
Yes, you're getting it. Thank you. No, it just means too that I understand the way how I understand it. It would mean that your extremities, your feet, your hands, would not
Good
be
afternoon.
getting the blood supply that it needs. Am I right?
Correct. You are right. You are right. It means that there's going to be low perfusion to all parts of the body. If it happens that way, it means that the brain in itself will what? There's going to be a shunt of the blood to the vital organs. And now the extremities are going to be what? Defective of blood. And then it means that if the stroke volume 2 is low, if let's say the heart, the body needs 30, the body needs 70, and you're able to pump 30, right? Now the 40 that is left, who is bringing that one? It means that the heart, the brain and the other body cells will have to charge the heart again to come back and pick the rest for us because we need it. So that is what brings about the heart failure. So we'll get there. So it means that the heart will have to pump, will overwork itself again and come and pick the rest for us. When it's coming to maybe it came and did not pick 40, you pick 30. The body, the cells still need it. You understand? So that is how come heart failure sets in. So that is how come anemia is one of the causes of heart failure. Do you understand? So I'm giving you this physiology so that when I set into hypertension and heart failure, you will not be asking me some questions. Because if you ask me some questions, I mean, I'll not understand you why, because you have the basis. You understand? So factors. No, I have a client.
No, I want you to do for me.
You want to do what? Please give me 1 second.
1 second, it reach.
Give me 5 seconds. Yeah, so I think that's all. So I mean, you understand, right? Do you understand? The one who said 1 second is more. Do you understand, Mr.? I think is it Mr. The voice sounds familiar. The
Mr.
one who
Apia.
was- Mr. Apia. I thought it's there's one man. I've forgotten the name. Some tough man. One tough man. Mr. Peter. I thought he's the one. Peter Yaufuri. Mr. Peter, are you okay?
I'm okay, sir. How are you too?
I'm good. I'm good. Your voice always reminds me of some big man that I know.
Maybe it's me.
Maybe you are the one. Maybe you are the one.
Yeah.
Since we have not met before. All right. So that's it. So we understand, right? So just use the bottle analogy and you understand everything. Now, if you talk about cardiac output, you know cardiac output. If we talk about ejection fraction is just a percent, the spilled water expressed as a percentage. Cardiac output is what? Is the spilled water that has happened severally for 1 minute. Then stroke volume is the spilled water itself. Ever. That's all. Now, the factors affecting cardiac output. Now, we are saying that there are going to be some factors that will affect your cardiac output. So, what are the factors that will affect cardiac output? Yes, who can tell me? What factors are going to affect cardiac output? What are the factors that will affect cardiac output? Oh, it's simple. It's on the slide. Oh. What are the factors that will affect cardiac output? Yes, Madam Ingrid.
Yes, the stroke volume and the heart rate.
What about that?
Well, the cardiac output is measured by the volume.
Yes, we can see that on the slide, but we are saying that what will affect cardiac output? What will make cardiac output be low or high? What will happen?
Hello, sir.
Yes, let's have you.
When the oxygen, the supply of oxygen is
No,
well.
don't go there. Don't divert. Just look at just look at the slide. I just want to look at the slide. Okay. Cardiac output will be affected when stroke volume is either low or high. 2, when heart rate is either low or high. Pardon me?
I'm not seeing the slides. So
The slide is on your screen.
I can see it.
Wow. Who else can see the slide? Okay, who can see the slide?
I can see it.
We can all see the slide. So,
but it's very deep in.
See it.
They can zoom it from their end. They can zoom it.
Use your finger and pinch it out.
Okay.
So Prof, that's what I really meant. That as the volume varies high and low, it affects the cardiac output.
exactly. That's it.
That's what I meant to say.
So that's it. So factors affecting cardiac output. There are 2 main factors. It's the heart rate and the stroke volume. Nothing else. Because the cardiac output is formed by what? The heart rate and the stroke volume. So it's either the heart rate is high or low or whatever. So now we can look under it. The heart rate, we are talking about what? Sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nerves, and epinephrine and norepinephrine. They are those 2 things. These are what? These are hormones that are released. They can
In those nerves.
when they are released, they can affect the heart rate. Then we talk about stroke volume. We talk about preload, cardiac contractility, and afterload. Preload is what? Preload is what? Before contraction, or just, before the filling. So we are saying that, let me explain this one. Preload, my cardiac contractility, and the afterload. Pick your bottle. I'll just imagine your bottle. Now, let's say if the bottle was not filled to the full. Hello? If the bottle was not a full bottle, let's say it was around 3 2/3 to the full, the amount of blood that when you contract will come out will be lesser than if it was full. Do you believe that?
Yes, sir.
So it means that the preload is the amount of water that was in the bottle before you contracted it. So if the amount of water is reduced, it means it's going to affect the what? The one that comes out. And also will it affect the one that is left over. So the one that is left over, it becomes the what? The afterload. You understand? The one that is left over becomes the afterload. So stroke volume will be affected if the preload is what? It's lesser. If the preload is it's overdose, then the next one is myocardial contractility. So do you know that the amount of blood, the amount of water, I'm still using the water because that will make you understand proper. You know that if how do you call it? The strength that you need to press the bottle. If you press it harder, more water will come out than you massaging the bottle. Do you believe that? Yes. So your hand that is pressing becomes the myocardial contractility. So if there's a proper or there's a stronger myocardial contractility, you are going to get a higher stroke volume, right? Likewise, if there's a low myocardial contractility, your stroke volume is going to be what? It's going to be less. Because there's the force that is pressing it for the water to be displaced. If it's not strong, it means that there's going to be small amount that is going to come out. So, and if small amount comes out, it means that what? Your ejection fraction is what? Is going to be low. Your cardiac output is going to be low as well, because cardiac output, if you need 70 mils and you are bringing 50 mils, it's going to reduce the cardiac output, right? Right? Now, the afterload. When the afterload is also, now look at the afterload. Now we are saying that the preload is when it is not when it's not filled up proper, or when it's halfway and you press, it means that small amount of stroke volume will come out. Now the afterload too is going to be that. Now with the afterload, let's look at the heart. When what am I even saying? I've forgotten. Okay, so the leftover. If the leftover is something small, okay, let's say after contracting, the leftover came like a teaspoon. Okay, it came like a teaspoon was left in the bottle. After you have contracted it very well, you were left with just a teaspoon. And now the one that came to top up, the filling, when the heart was relaxed, the one that came to fall in, came to put it at what? At half of the bottle. So if you are going to contract, it is also going to affect the stroke volume, because now you are not going to get the bottle the bottle is not full. So if you contract, your hand is in the middle and you are contracting, you're going to get a lesser stroke volume. So that is how come all the preload, the myocardial contractility, and the afterload are affecting stroke volume. And in the same way, they are going to affect what? Cardiac output. Do you understand? Yeah, I just wanted to understand. So that's why I'm using the bottle. So just if you forget, use the bottle analogy. If you have any question, you can put it in the page and I'll answer you. Then factors affecting cardiac. So the heart rate too. That one is with the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. Those ones, they are about hormones. When we talk about the sympathetic nervous system, we say the fight and flight mode. When we talk about sympathetic nervous system, we are talking about the fight and flight mode, such that when there is an issue, when it is the protective mechanism of the body whereby that helps, let me see, fight and flight. So the sympathetic nervous systems are stimulated whenever there is danger. Okay, they are stimulated whenever there is danger. So it is, for instance, when you see a lion and you have to run at that point in time, even if you are sleeping, even if sorry to say, you are relaxing in your jacuzzi or whatever, you see there's some slight force of some sudden force that enkindles you up to get up. That is the sympathetic nervous system. So when we talk about the nervous system, we are talking about we have the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. That is the fight and flight. Then the parasympathetic is the relaxed nervous system. That one too, the parasympathetic is also the nervous system that helps with reflexes, that helps with it's just the opposite of the fight and flight. So that one is a relaxed one. If you want to urinate, if you want to go to the washroom, and you are in a rush to go there, when you go there, you have to wait for the urine. Why? Because when you are running, you are using the fight and flight mode. But when you get to the parasympathetic, when you get to the point where you have to pee, the parasympathetic nervous system has to take place, and so you will have to wait for a while because your body is still in the fight or the flight state. So the body has to come down to the parasympathetic state before you can urinate. So this one controls your reflexes, like the reflex for you passing stool, urinating, and so on and so on. So factors affecting heart rate, you have the sympathetic nervous system, increase in sodium and calcium, currents of SA node cells leads to increase the slope of the pacemaker potential, leading to heart rates going up. So there is a part of the heart that we call the pacemaker. That is where the electrical activity stems from, the electrical activity of the heart. The pumping activity that you are seeing has some electrical activity that is gingering the whole thing. We say we are just seeing it as it's pumping. How does it pump? There's no battery in there. So there has been a naturally made engine into the heart at the SA node. We call it the pacemaker. That is where the electrical activity stems from at the SA node, the sinoatrial node, at the it's located in between the septum, getting closer to the right atrium. That is where it's located, and it stems from. I love to teach with pictures. I don't have that one. I don't have that slide. I don't have that picture here. So you don't worry. So the factors affecting heart rates. We also have the parasympathetic nerves. So increase in potassium efflux, the slope of pacemaker potential reduces and heart rate reduces. So when the sympathetic nervous system is increasing your heart rate, the parasympathetic nervous system will do what? Will bring your heart rate down. You understand? The heart cannot be in a flight mode for the whole day. For instance, you see a lion right now, and you see a tiger right now. Then your body stimulated the sympathetic nervous system, and you had to run away, right? So at that moment, your heart rate goes up. And why has your heart rate gone up? The sympathetic nervous system has made your heart rate to go up. So that is how come sympathetic nervous system have effects on the heart rate. And if the heart rate is up, it's going to affect the cardiac output. Do you understand? So the sympathetic nervous system has effect on your heart rate. Same as the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, after you have run and you have gone to hide somewhere, you see that you are coming down, you are resting, you are panting, the heart is coming down. At that point, the parasympathetic nervous system is also taking place and is acting on the heart. You understand? I'm just teaching you broadly. It involves a lot of calculations and chemical reactions. I'm saying chemical reactions that take place in the body. That one I'll not worry with it. But then you need to know the general overview of how it works. and how parasympathetic nervous system affects the heart. That is what I'm using the tiger running or chasing after you as a scenario. If the tiger is chasing after you, your body stimulates, the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated and it affects the heart. So it's going to make your heart beat faster and supply blood to all parts of the body because you need the blood to run away. So at that point, your heart rate is going to go up. That is why somebody runs a race and when you check the BP will be very high. Why? The sympathetic nervous system has stimulated it. Now, what will change? Who will change, or what will change the sympathetic nervous system or the flight stage so that your heart will calm down? Then the parasympathetic comes in. You understand? To go and change it. To change it from what? From the flight state to the resting state. So, sympathetic nervous system is what? It's a flight and fight state. Then the parasympathetic is what? It's a rest and sleep. So if you are sleeping, your body has what? Stimulated the what? The parasympathetic nervous system. That's why when you sleep, your heart doesn't beat. You're not. When your heart is beating too fast, we tell you to go and rest. When you are resting, the parasympathetic nervous system takes place, and so your heart will not be beating basa basa like that. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that becomes the rest and sleep states, or these are the fight and flight states. So that is how sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system affect the heart. Then the epinephrine and the norepinephrine, they also act the same as they also act like the sympathetic nervous system. Do you understand? So we are saying that the factors affecting stroke volume. Factors affecting the stroke volume. You know them, right? These are the factors affecting the stroke volume: preload, myocardial contractility, and afterload. And these are the factors affecting the heart rate: sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, peripheral and epinephrine. Right? So if you want to remember these two, use the analogy of the tiger race. Okay, and this one, use the analogy of the bottle. Okay. Are you recording the slide so that those who are not here can? Is it being recorded?
Yes, sir. Please, it's being recorded.
All right, that's fine. Now you say the preload and diastolic volume. Do you believe that preload is what? And diastolic volume. With your knowledge that you have now. And diastolic means the volume in the bottle when you have not contracted it. That is a preload, like I explained to you. And I'm saying that the preload can be affected, can affect the stroke volume because when the bottle is not well filled, let's say the bottle is halfway. That is your preload. The preload doesn't mean the bottle has to be full. No, we are saying that the bottle containing water when it's not relaxed, when it's not contracted. So it can be halfway. It can be 1/3. It can be 2/3. You understand? So that becomes a preload. So the load on the ventricular myocardium prior to contraction, or the volume of blood in the ventricles just before contraction. Is it true? Like I explained to you, right? So we say the volume of the bottle of the blood. So the water in the bottle before you press it. The volume in the blood the volume of the blood in the ventricles before you press it, before you contract, right? That becomes your preload. Yeah. So preload affects your what? Your end diastolic volume. Your stroke volume. Yeah. Now we're talking about Frank Stelling's mechanism. So you see someone's name, he has put on something. So we say within a certain scope, the greater the end diastolic volume, the more forceful the contraction and the larger the stroke volume. Where you are. Like I said. So Frank Stelling is making us know that in a certain scope, the greater the end diastolic volume, the amount of water in the vortic bottle, and the force that is used to contract it will determine your what? The blood, the water that comes out of it. So if the amount is small and the force is a massaging force, what happens? Small comes out of it. You understand? You understand? It's like having a child. You are grooming a child, and I mean, you are not. There's no proper correction of the child. You understand? So okay, one, there's no proper training, and there is no proper correction. You understand? You're not training the child or no good values, no correction. What do you get in return? You're going to get a low value, a lesser value from this child. This child is going to end up to become a social misfit. Is end up going to become a trouble to you. So the same way here. So the greater the volume in the bottle and the force of contraction on it will determine the amount that comes out of the what? That comes out of the bottle. So the Frank-Starling mechanism is very, very true from what we have explained so far. You understand? So we say within a scoop, the greater the end diastolic volume, the greater the volume in the bottle, coupled with the force of contraction, would determine or would show the amount of what of water that will be dissipated, or the amount of blood that will go out of the heart, will determine the stroke volume or will affect the stroke volume. Ever, right? Any question? Do you still don't understand? I think this thing there is clear. The way I'm even teaching you, that was not how I was taught to. You are getting the thing proper. This thing, they talk. You have to go and sit down and learn this thing. You people, you are laughing. The way I'm teaching you, I mean, this thing, it was just a one-day class. Stroke volume is this. We move on. Even this Frank-Starling something. I mean, I just know it out of. I didn't have this in mind now. I mean, I'm just looking at this slide, but then, I mean, I just know it from the bottle mechanism. I was just listening and I said, okay, let me just get something that will make you people understand, because if I come and start this stroke volume something and now questions that will be coming, but I think the bottle has worked, so let's continue. Any question? If there's no question, it means you have understood. That's how I'll take it to. Okay. So factors affecting we are still on the factors. So we are saying that one. Now we are explaining the factors. Preload. Now we know about preload. We say the amount that is filling, the filling. Now the next one is what? Is the what? The myocardial contractility. So the intrinsic property of myocardium changes its mechanic dependence of any load. So factor affecting contractility. So a sympathetic nervous system, epinephrine, they act on the muscles. So these ones. So for contractility to be higher, we are saying that what? When the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated, epinephrine or no epinephrine start to act on the heart, they are going to what? They increase contractility. Because these are what? These underplay what? Fight and flight mode. Did you see parasympathetic here? They're talking about myocardial contractility. You see? They're talking about contractility. So that one doesn't play, but I think it will show in afterload. It should be able to show in afterload. Let me see. Afterload. Okay, afterload is giving us different mechanism. It's talking about the fibers and those ones. Okay. So I think it's okay. All you need to know basically is about the factor that is affecting it. This very slide, sympathetic, parasympathetic, and there are some explanations over here. Now the epinephrine, the no epinephrine, they are going to what? They are going to act on them to what? To either increase or what? Reduce heart rates. Okay. They also function as the no, like the sympathetic nervous system. Yeah. So I think that's all for now. So okay, so we say norepinephrine or epinephrine. They act on beta adrenergic receptors, open more calcium channels. Then calcium leads to sarcomic reticulum, now leading to a release and return of calcium, then leading to what contractility, myocardial contractility. Now note this: calcium is what? Calciums are what? It's one of the electrolytes or the minerals or the yes electrolytes that are being released that are being they stimulate the heart to undergo contractility. That is why we also have a drug we call calcium channel blockers. So calcium does what? Calcium helps in contractility. Whenever calcium comes to the heart, it comes to help with the heart contractility. So the norepinephrine and the epinephrine, they go to stimulate calcium channels. That is why all calcium channels on the heart. So that is why we have a drug we call the nifedipine and the amlodipine that you see. We call them we call them calcium channel blockers. They block the calcium channel so that the contractility activity of the calcium on the heart will be impaired. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think we'll end it here. Let me ask some questions. No, let me put this one in. Let me put it in this mode. I'm coming. Mr. Mevoji, let's have you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to find out when what happens when the blood vessels, the elasticity, the blood vessel is supposed to behave like elastic. So what of when it becomes hardened? The arteries or the veins becomes hardened. How do we describe that also in line of these studies?
Over here, we are talking about the heart, okay? So let's focus on the heart. We will get there. When we get to hypertension, I have understood your question, and I know where you are coming from. But then let's look at the heart. This one, we are just focusing on the heart. When we get to hypertension, we will learn about the heart and the blood vessels. So I want you to know the heart very well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, now I'm sure now you know the heart, right? Hello? Oh, why is he?
Yeah, we know the heart now.
I mean you. Personalize it. I'm personalizing it. You. I mean you.
Oh yes, by the grace.
That's fine. So one heart beat makes up is it A, B, C, D, or E? One heartbeat makes up a what?
E.
What?
Cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle E.
Cardiac cycle E. One heartbeat. When your heart beats, one heartbeat makes up a what? You say what? What's the answer? E. It makes up a cardiac cycle. One heartbeat makes up a cardiac cycle. Heartbeats per minute makes up a what? Hello? I'm asking a follow-up question. One heartbeat make up a cardiac cycle. Heartbeat per minute makes up a what?
Heart rate.
Correct.
Heart rate.
Yeah, that's the B. Now, cardiac output is equal to what times what? Cardiac output is equal to what times what?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Stroke volume times heart rate.
So use the alphabets.
Okay. A and B.
Okay, A Correct. A times B. Correct. Then stroke volume equals dash minus what?
Hello, sir.
Not you. The next person.
Ah.
That's D.
C.
That's what?
N diastolic volume.
N diastolic volume.
D.
Exactly.
That's
C minus what? N diastolic volume.
Minus the N systolic volume.
Exactly. The stroke volume is what? The N diastolic volume. The volume of the bottle when you have not contracted it minus the volume of the bottle after contraction or minus the leftover. Do you understand? X-type question. The factors which can affect cardiac output include, list them. What are they? What are the fact A, B, C, D, E, D? A, B, C to E. So what are the factors that can affect heart output? Cardiac output. The factors which can affect cardiac output include, so list all the factors here that can affect cardiac output. Yes.
B and D. B and D.
B and D. Are you sure?
Yes.
Heart rate and myocardial contractility.
Yes.
They are those that will affect cardiac output.
I think B, E, D.
B,
E is also
D.
part.
Factors that can affect cardiac output.
B, C, and D. B, C, and D.
Okay, any other?
B, C, and E, heart rate and diastolic volume, and then arterial pressure.
Okay.
I think the D, the myocardial contractility, that one also is a part of it. D.
So why is no one saying A, venous return?
No, it's B.
Mr. Peter.
Hello, sir.
No, you're not Mr. Peter.
Oh.
I know the voice. Mr. Peter. He's not around. Okay. Evans.
Yes, sir.
Why is nobody saying A? Why is A not part?
Sir, me, I was coming to say all of them.
You were coming to say all of them.
Yes.
Why are you saying all of them? Why is it all of them? Why you bad?
Because venous return.
Okay, why is it all of them? Maybe you might make sense. Let me see. Let me hear you. One. Oh, start there. Explain yourself. You are saying all of them, so explain yourself, Evans. Hello. Oh, is it his network? Are you there?
He's lying. He can hear you very well. Evans is coming.
Evans. Okay. Any other person, or should I come in? Is anybody talking? Oh, why?
Sir, come in.
I'm not coming in. Can you come in? You finalize the lesson. Yes. Any other person?
Sir, I think it's B, C, and E.
So you are not adding
All
D to it. So you are not adding D to it.
Sir, I think it's only A. A is the one which is not part of it. All the rest are part of it.
You explain yourself. Don't just say that. If I say you explain.
Okay, for me, the reason why I didn't add the A is because the return is that the blood flow back to the heart. If venous return, the blood will flow back to the heart. But we are looking at the factor which can affect the cardiac output. Okay.
My goodness.
Okay. Affecting. Okay, affecting.
Listen here.
if the blood is,
If the
there
blood
is
is
part of
coming
it.
back to the heart, listen here.
Yeah.
The blood that is coming back to the heart is small. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not that amount that is going to be pumped out.
Yes, it's true. It's so
I made
it's affecting.
an analogy for you that if the one left over is small and the one coming is not enough, what will happen? Your stroke volume will be less. When you press the button, small will go out. If stroke volume is less, cardiac output is what? Is less. So the whole thing, then the arterial pressure. Now, if the how do you call it? The pressure in the blood vessels are low, or there's a lower pressure in the blood vessels. The how do you call it? How do you call it? The returns
The output will be, yeah.
There will not be proper returns because there's a lower pressure. The blood that has to come, or the blood that has to go for some to come, there's a lower pressure in there. Maybe the pressure is from the heart. The heart is not even pumping a wall. So there's a lower pressure in that. There's a lower arterial pressure. It means that it's going to affect the cardiac output. So everything.
So for me, yeah, okay.
So for you is what? I've explained already. So it's A, B, C, D, E. Right?
Okay.
So when the venous return, so let's go. One, when there's no venous return, the venous return is low. The one that is
Evans, now you are back.
Venous return is the one filling the tin. It's the one filling the bottle for you.
Don't mind him.
Evans went off. He think he's smart. We asked him the question. He went off.
He's lying.
Okay. So the venous return is the one filling the bottle for you, right? It's the one filling the heart. So if the one filling the heart is coming, the small amount is coming out, it means that you not get proper filling. If you don't get proper filling, what will happen? You will not get proper, even if you contract and you cry, you will not get enough amount going out. Now we have the heart rate. If the heart rate is low, it's going to affect the cardiac output. If there is a lower heart rate, the heart is should be maybe the heart rate should be what? That's a 75 average. Then we have a heart rate of 20, heart rate of 30. It's going to affect the cardiac output. You understand? Now we have the end diastolic volume. End diastolic volume is just like venous return. If the end diastolic volume, the venous return will come and will make up the end diastolic volume. After the venous return, everything comes together to form the end diastolic volume. So if venous return is low, end diastolic volume will be low. Cardiac output is stroke volume is going to be low. Cardiac output will be low, right? Myocardial contractility. If the heart is not contracting very well, what will happen? It means that what? There's going to be low cardiac output because there's going to be enough blood supply to all parts of the body. Because the heart has to contract, and our focus is on the left ventricle. So if the left ventricle is not able to contract very well, or is loose, is tired, what will happen? And if there's reduced arterial pressure too, it's going to happen that way. So that is it. That ends it. So this is a basis you have gotten about the heart, and I think with this, you should be able to understand any heart condition. When they talk about any heart condition, you'll be able to appreciate it because you know the basis. Now, if I'm talking and I say stroke volume, you understand. If I say cardiac output, it will not be something so huge in your mind. And I'm saying that I want you to do this. I mean, just visit the slide again, listen to the audios again, and let this one stick in your mind. Let it stick in your mind and add it up to your practice, and you become good naturopathic doctors. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. So actually, this is what I was.
Thank you, sir.
It's actually good to enhance our minds on what we've taught. So I wanted you to give us not like assignments, but something for us to try our hands on. Not like you're going to market, oh, please, I beg you, but something like this, so that we'll go and then try our hands on. We do more research about it, and then we'll enhance our knowledge on what you've taught.
No problem. I can do something and put in your page. Okay.
Very good. Very good. We'll be glad.
All right. The next slide.
Thank you.
Okay. So we are looking at hypertension, eh? So fast forward, we're looking at hypertension. Ever. So now you are gurus in what? In the heart. So now when we are going like that. No stop. You know this slide, you know this picture, okay? Someone can just give me whatever that is taking place over here. Is that not it? Eh? Yes, yes. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. So let's look at hypertension. We are just looking at hypertension. We are going to rush a bit on it because we have the basis already. So hypertension is what? Hypertension is basically talking about what? The heart and the what? And the blood vessels. When we talk about hypertension, it's basically what? The heart and the what? And the blood vessels. So where is that slide? I want to use that slide. Oh. So let's look at this. So BP is the what? Is the produce of what? Cardiac output and peripheral resistance. So then comes your question. Mr. The name, someone asked the question, how about the blood vessels? Now we are talking about peripheral resistance. So now we are saying that when we talk about hypertension, the reason why BP, we are talking about, it is only two things. It's about the heart and the blood vessels. So that is why I had to what? I had to wash you very well on the hearts. You see how today I've washed you guys? Next week, when we meet, one of you have to wash me. Yeah, I'll be coming with my clothes dirty. So you'll be washing my clothes so that I'll become clean. Yeah. So wash me to be clean. So BP is the produce of a cardiac output and of peripheral resistance. So why do we say peripheral resistance? Peripheral. Peripheral is talking about the blood vessels. Resistance, force. So when there's a force in the blood vessel, so the force in the blood vessel and that of the cardiac and the amount of blood that is going. Now we have got to know that what? Cardiac output is what? The amount of blood that is being pumped out of the heart in a minute. Right? Right? That is cardiac output. That is what? Stroke volume times what? Heart rate. So the amount of blood that is being pumped out of the heart in a minute times the what? The peripheral resistance. So it means that, what does it mean? So it means that BP here, BP before the, let's imagine BP over here. Can I even write there? Okay, let me see if I can write there. BP over there. BP, see. So BP equals cardiac output times what? Peripheral resistance. So it means that what? When the cardiac output is high, it will affect the BP. When the peripheral resistance is high, it will affect the BP. Whenever it's low, this one is low, it will affect the BP. So just like cardiac output, just like when we were taking cardiac output, we were saying that stroke volume and heart rate were hot. They directly affect the cardiac output. Same as the BP. Cardiac output and peripheral resistance directly affect the BP. Do you understand? So when there is a resistance, so when, for instance, when there is a plague, when there is a trauma to the heart, to the blood vessels, when there is a blockage in the blood vessel, it's going to affect the BP. When there is a problem with the heart, when there is myocardial contractility problem, when there is weakness of the heart, when there is whatever, it's going to affect the BP. You understand? Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Don't
Yes, sir.
forget this, very important. I just had to skip all and come and explain this one to you. So cardiac output, very important to BP, because cardiac output will give you the amount of blood that is leaving the heart in 1 minute. Then the peripheral resistance is what? The heart is leaving, the heart is not working, it will pass through something. So if the one that is, if where it is passing, you know, there is a pressure in that end, or there's a blockage, there is what? Obstacles in that end, it's going to affect the what? The general results, which is the BP. So cardiac output and peripheral resistance determine the BP, right? So it means that, so all the BP drugs we are giving, our target is on what? It's on the hearts and the blood vessels. Yes, we can be looking at the kidneys and all those ones. Those ones are there. But majority is on what? It's on the hearts and the blood vessels. Even with the kidneys and those ones, they all secrete their hormones into the blood vessel. Right? So we have something like this. I'm skipping the slide because we are coming from somewhere. That's why I'm skipping the slide. So you look at this. So there's a situation whereby this one we are saying cardiac output and peripheral resistance, but there is a situation we call the what? The RAS angiotensin mechanism, the RAS angiotensin system. I think I mentioned it last time. The kidneys, the liver and the kidneys also have effect on the heart, on the blood vessel, on the BP. But what do? They release hormones, what we call the renin. The kidney will release what? Renin. The liver also release a hormone called the what? Angiotensinogen. And where do they release them into? They release them into the what? Into the blood vessel. So it comes back again that even though the kidney and the livers have effects, or when they are defective, can affect your blood vessel, it will still boil down to what? These two things: the heart, the blood vessel, and the heart, and the heart. The heart is the cardiac output, and the peripheral resistance is the heart, the blood vessel. Do we understand? Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Well
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you understand, you say well understood. Okay. Yeah, so introduction. So hypertension is the most common disorder of the world, affecting, I just wanted you to know, that's why I skipped the slide. But then have it in mind. Cardiac output times what? The blood vessels. So cardiac hypertension is what? It's about the hearts and the blood vessel. The kidney and those ones, they are in play. They are there, but they all will come back into the heart and the blood vessel. Okay? So it affects what? 1 billion individuals. So how many are we in class? 47. About 30 of us did not join class. 23 of us. 48. Okay. Anyways, we have majority. Hypertension is responsible for 3 billion deaths annually. It kills a lot of people. Okay. We are going to see about 80% of your cases are going to be hypertensive cases. Okay, about 80%, or even I'll say 90% of people who come to your clinic, unless you are running normal clinic like OPD, those ones where you see pneumonia and malaria and all those things. But if you are running your naturopathic clinic, mostly hypertensive, stroke cases, diabetes, and liver, kidney, they are all hypertension. They all boil down to hypertension. You understand? Yeah. So we are saying that the rule of half says that only half of the people that we have in the world are hypertensive cases. Only about half of them have been diagnosed. There are still half of them who are there who have not even visited a hospital before and have not been diagnosed, and they are living with the condition. Then out of those diagnosed, only half of those diagnosed have been treated. You understand? Only half of them have been treated. And out of those who have been treated, only half of those treated are adequately controlled. So some of them, they are receiving treatment, but their BPs are not controlled, and it's plenty. I see a lot at the clinic, almost every time. Oh, it's just a few that you get, and their BPs are controlled. That's some who are even on the drug, they took it in the morning before they came. They'll come and record 170 for you. They'll come and record 170, 100, but they have taken the drug in the morning. You understand? So it becomes a topic of essence for us to learn about. Yeah. So only 12.5 overall are adequately controlled. So the rule of 50. So you realize that out of 100, only about 12.5 are adequately controlled. So this is it. All hypertensives, 50 detected, 50 undetected. Out of the 50 detected, 50 treated, 50 untreated. Out of the 50 treated, 50%, half of them are controlled, half are uncontrolled. So that is why we need to learn about it. Less than 25 controlled in developed countries and less than 10% developed countries. So in the developed countries, less than 25% are controlled. And in our setting here, there, less than 10% are controlled. Please give me some 5 minutes. Let me take some water, okay? Okay.
Okay, sorry. While he's gone to take the water, I have come out of class because I thought it was finished. But he started something new.
Hey, we didn't end the class.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
The class is a 3-hour class.
Hypertension.
Oh.
You thought we are done. You are only learning stroke volume and you are gone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come back to class.
Yes. No, I'm back. Thanks to
Right.
Doctor.
Right. Some 5 minutes and just a few minutes.
Yes. Thank you.
You can have your own discussions. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so let's continue. Thank you. So he said that what? Introduction. Hypertension is a major cardiovascular risk factor that directly contributes to. So hypertension is one condition that, spans or travels through a lot of conditions. You understand? It is the basis for majority of conditions, majority of things that happen. BP really worries a lot. And I made you know, as you have known, BP is about what? Hypertension is about what? The what? Cardiac output and what? Peripheral resistance. Even if one of them is at fault, it will affect the BP. So when it affects the BP, it's going to affect the BP is also going to affect other things. So BP can affect what? It can contribute to what? Myocardial infarction. Do you know myocardial infarction? Myocardia. Myo means muscle, cardia, heart. Infarction, blockage of blood supply. Infarction, blockage of blood supply to an area. So myocardial infarction, blockage of blood supply to an area of the heart. Oh, Mr. Evans.
Hello, sir.
Now your hands were up.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Listen, MI same as heart attack.
Myocardial infarction. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's the MI is just a heart attack will fall under MI. Because the MI we have other we it's not just there are types of it. You understand? Yes, but it's basically that one heart attack. Yeah, because there's going to be what a blockage somewhere, an impairment in blood, a blockage somewhere that is causing an impairment in blood supply to a particular part of the heart, and it's going to cause that. You understand? Then we call what? Then we also have cardiovascular accidents. Hypertension, you cannot say someone has a stroke, someone gets a stroke and BP is not an underlying cause, or BP is out of the person. It will be very less likely. If you are picking 100 people, it will be maybe only one person or two people that will get stroke without BP. Maybe having it from other cause. But mostly in our setting, BP is what is placed, a majority when it comes to what? Stroke. Heart failure. How can you say the heart is failing and your BP is fine? What is causing the failure? You understand? So heart failure, we are going to talk about cardiac output and everything. Peripheral artery insufficiency. It's about the blood vessels. Chronic kidney disease. The hypertension plays a very majority role in what? Most of our kidney patients are on BP drugs. Okay, most of our kidney patients are known BP patients for a very long time. Premature mortality. BP can cause a woman to get a preeclampsia. It can cause a pregnant woman to have seizures. When your BPs go up, the pregnant woman can start having seizures, and baby can die, or mother can die, or baby has to come out early. That is BP for you. It can cause dementia. It can cause Parkinson's disease. It can lead to liver disease. A whole lot. And why is it that? Because of what BP, the blood vessel and the what? And the heart. And the heart pumps blood to all parts of the body. So it means that BP is going to be the major cause of all these things. So that is how BP is the major cause of all these things. Because every part of the body needs blood. And what will carry the blood there is the blood vessels. And the BP is caused by what? The blood, the heart, and the what? And the blood vessels. And the heart is the one pumping the blood. Ever. So that is it. So complications of hypertension, target organ damage. So BP can affect all these organs. Can affect your brain to cause what? TI or stroke. BP can affect the heart to cause what? Left ventricular heart failure, congestive heart failure, or heart failure. Can cause what? MI can cause a whole lot. BP can cause what? Renal failure. BP can cause of peripheral vascular disease. Peripheral vascular disease. BP can affect the eye to cause what? Retinopathy. So we have hypertensive retinopathy. For the heart, we say what? Hypertensive cardiomyopathy. For the kidney, we say what? Hypertensive nephropathy. Peripheral vascular disease, vasculitis, and all those ones. Stroke for the heart, for the brain, we say what? We say stroke. Okay. The vessels, vascular. There are other causes of for the vessel one. So plenty. There are plenty. This is just a few. And now you understand why it's causing all this one, because all these areas will need what? Will need blood vessel. Please give me one. Okay. So all these areas will need what? Will need blood vessel to supply the blood, right? So now let's define BP. When we say blood pressure, how do we say someone has blood pressure? Is there a question, Ingrid? Is there a question?
Yes, I don't know if I missed it, but I noticed I didn't see the liver on that diagram. So I was wondering about the effect on the liver of a heart condition. You had the kidney and the valves and the brain and the eyes, but I didn't see the liver. That's why I asked. Is there sound? I'm not hearing anything.
Me
I'm
neither.
hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay.
But we can't see anything. We can't see
Yes, please.
anything.
Let's all wait. The
We can't
lecturer will
see
get
the
back to us soon.
Can somebody hear from me?
Dr. Kunsi, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm off.
Hello, class. Hello.
Yeah, Evans.
Yeah, the lecturer has dropped a new link. You should all join through that link because he's not able to join this one again.
Where is the link?
Oh, yeah.
In that situation, we say there is what? There is high blood pressure. Now we have two types. Blood pressure can be classified into two. We have the essential hypertension and we have the secondary hypertension. Now we are saying that what? The essential, you know, the reason why, I mean, it's good you guys are learning this one. It's good you are learning. Now you know what you are treating for. Sometimes it hurts when you are treating blindly. You understand? If it's not for, maybe it's not for this course, maybe some of us might have not even had, learned about hypertension. We only know BP. But what is even the BP? You don't even know. You understand? So now to make you appreciate it, if you are giving drugs, okay, you know that this drug I'm giving, it is working on the what? It's a drug that works on the blood vessels and also it works on the heart. Okay, they say then I'll give another drug that will work on the yes, even for your own self. You give another drug that is working for what? For the heart. Then you are, because now you know that the BP is about the what? About the heart and the vessels. So you give a blood that will help to clear the vessels. I'm sure you have a lot of them. Then you also give another drug that will help to what? That will help to make the heart work very well, produce enough cardiac output, will not make the heart overbeat itself or pump too fast. You understand? So that should be in your mind. It will be at the back of your mind, whenever you are giving the medications for someone with BP. And now you even know the values too. So now you know, you look at the values. And you see, then we have essential hypertension and secondary hypertension. You understand? We have essential hypertension and secondary hypertension. When we talk about essential hypertension, we are saying it's the commonest one. We are saying that for essential hypertension, we don't know how it came about, how far it comes about. We don't normally know. For instance, if you say right now, we say you have BP, how it really came about, you're not able to pinpoint out. You only assume, right? That, oh, maybe I'm stressed out, maybe I'm thinking about this, maybe I'm not eating fat, but you don't know the cause. Who can tell me the cause of a BP right now? Except one, which are secondary to something, secondary to maybe a kidney disease, secondary to a cranial nervous problem, secondary to pheochromocytoma, secondary to a liver disease. Aside that, those of us who are clean, nothing at all, but you have BP. What is your cause of BP? So that is what those ones fall under essential hypertension. And it forms about 95% of most of our cases. The etiology is what? It's uncertain. But for the secondary hypertension, the etiology is what? It's certain because it is secondary to a particular condition that made you get a BP. You understand? Some people, their BP is secondary to their children's stubbornness. That is not true. Yes. Some people, their BP is secondary to their husband leaving them and causing a lot of problems. Their wives leaving them, or their wife cheating on them, or their husband cheating on them, causing a lot of problems. So you can say it is secondary to that, but in medical term, we will say that those must be classified under what? Under essential hypertension. It's not secondary. The secondary to the one you are thinking about is not what we're talking about here. Madam Olumide.
Yes, thank you, Doc. What about the cases where a patient is about to go into surgery for a procedure and it cannot be performed because the person's blood pressure has gone up and they are not hypertensive by history? How would that be classified?
So at that one, it is due to the situation. I mean, the anxiety of the whole thing. You understand? The anxiety. So that one you can classify it under maybe secondary to the cause of. Secondary to the antecedent. How do you call it? Procedure or the pending procedure.
I see.
You understand?
I see.
Ah.
Okay.
And even those ones, they are pseudo BPs. They are not true BPs.
Okay.
It is just, I mean, a state. The person has gone into a state whereby the fight and flight mode has been activated. So because that the person is going to surgery, so his fear, anger, and you see fight and flight mode. Let me show you a picture. You know I love pictures. Today I've not shown you any picture. Let me show you a picture.
Okay. Thank you.
BMS Holistic. Mr. Okran. Mr. Okran. Oh, is he there? I saw a hand up. Oh, he's not. Oh, he's forgotten that his hand is up. Anyways, let's continue. Zara, if you are talking, I mean, you want to say something, you can just start talking. I mean, my eyes are off the screen, so if you have a question, you can ask. So you see this one. To look at the face of this man, he saw the fight, the way the fight is going, he has to run away. So at this point in time, this man has what? The sympathetic nervous system has been stimulated. And even these guys are using their sympathetic nervous system at that moment because they are in their fight state. This is a fight and a flight. This is running away. Oh, Johnny, fight and flight. You understand? Same as this. But then, so that is it. So you see, this person is thinking about what? About the surgery. Madam Olumide. So this person has a surgery to be done. He's thinking about it. Look at this person. Thinking plenty. Your BP will not look at this one. See this one. He wants to just open the head and explode. You see that? So that is it. So the anxiety is what is making the BPs go up. And that one is just a state. You see that this person, after some time, has been talked to, has undergone some, how do you call it, therapeutic talking and those things. You see that they have to be coming down, and the BPs will be getting better. You understand? So those ones, they are pseudo ones. You don't just diagnose them like that. If it's getting alarming, you can make them rest. You can give them something for the BPs to come down. They have to rest, but then just for that moment. Oh. Yeah, so that is it. Mr. Mendo, was your hand up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's have it.
All right. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, stop like that.
There is some noise somewhere. No.
Nana, Please off your mic. Nana, you can mute yourself.
So, sir, I want to ask a question.
You're on the floor.
All right. Under the classification of hypertension, that is essential, and the other one, the essential and the secondary hypertension. So, under the essential hypertension, you said the causes cannot be traced, or there is no known cause under the essential. But I learned that there are some other factors in it that causes it. Like
the factors and they are there, but as to whether they are those ones that are really causing it, you can't really tell. Books don't tell. You can't investigate to find out that one.
And there are also risk factor too. For that one too, how does it affect it?
The risk factors are there. They are those causing it. I'm saying that you are going to find risk factors. You are going to find possible causes, but as to how it really occurred, you don't know how it's occurring. There's risk factors.
Okay.
We are speculating that they do that, but you can't.
Okay.
Can you investigate stress to know how stress causes BP? Can you investigate that somebody did not sleep yesterday night and so his BP is up? Can you investigate it?
Sir, please, what about tobacco smoke too?
What about what?
Tobacco smoke. Those who smoke tobacco.
They are there. They are also part. We classify all of them under essential hypertension. The tobacco is making them at risk of death. People are also smoking. They don't have BP. They want to. So you can't see that just smoking tobacco is the cause of BP. Mr. Mefoji Kingsley.
Okay.
Yeah, please, my question still stands as I wanted to know earlier. What of the hardening of the vessels and then also the visceral fat that is deposited in the arteries and the others? Are those the visceral fat, the fat that is deposited in the blood vessels? And I want to find out those causes. Will it not fall under essential hypertension?
They will. I mean,
okay.
I've gotten you. Okay, that's why I said that we are talking about the heart and the blood vessel. So anything affecting the blood vessel can affect the BP. So the visceral fats, the atherosclerosis, and all those things are affecting the BP, and they can cause high blood pressure. So it's true. So when the vessels have a problem, they affect the BP. They are going to affect the BP because they are going to impair how do you call it, venous return and all those things. And it's going to affect the BP.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So environmental factors that can lead to hypertension. We have what? Smoking, diet, stress. They are all environmental factors that can cause what? Hypertension. We also have genetic factors. Nuclear genome and mitochondrial genome, signaling, energy transaction, cell death are genetic factors that can cause hypertension. Arterial factors, CNS, kidney, RAS, metabolic and local hormone factors. These are nuclear genomes that can which are also under what? Genetic factors that can affect hypertension. So we say hypertension, we have the environmental factors and we have the genetic factors. The one that affects, looking at the body itself, from the body, you're carrying from the body, and the one that is caused from our lifestyle, environmental factors. Do you understand? So lack of exercise,
well understood.
Lack of exercise will fall under environmental factors. Marital issues will fall under environmental factors. Broken heart will fall under environmental factors. You understand? Anxiety will fall under environmental factors. And when it comes into the body, then we talk about the kidney, the RAS system, the metabolic, local hormonal system, the diffuse chromocytomas and all these things. They are So essential hypertension, we have secondary hypertension. To Essential hypertension, we are looking at what stressful life, genetic disorders, increased blood volume, abnormal arteries, excess salt. These are what essential hypertension cause. We have the secondary hypertension. We have what hormonal therapy, secondary to hormonal therapy. Some people who are going hormonal therapy, some secondary to pregnancy. If the person is not pregnant, he wouldn't have got hypertension. So after the pregnancy, the person gets fine. Recreational drugs. Someone is on cocaine and those ones, BPs are going up. If the person stops, the BPs get better. So the BP is particular to is secondary to something. You understand? Certain medicines. There are some medicines that will make your BP go up. So when you stop taking them, your BP gets better. Health conditions, like let's say the person has an antecedent kidney problem, has an underlying problem. That is what is accounting for his high BPs. So now we're looking at essential hypertension. That is what our focus is on. We're going to focus on this. We will look at the second two, but look at the second essential. So definition, that's the definition. Systolic and or more than 140 millimeters mercury, or diastolic more than or equal to 90. That is what for adults age 18 years age or adult or older. That is the BP for the diagnosis to diagnose hypertension that somebody is hypertensive. Should I have 180, 140, 90? Yeah, but yeah. Then we have what again? Guideline for JNC. We have how do you call it? Like a body that has classified that classifies hypertension in stages. Okay, we have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. It's a body that classifies it. So they classify it as either optimal or normal, high normal. Then it comes to hypertension. They have the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So the optimal blood pressure for the average 120/80. You understand? Anything less than 130 and diastolic less than 85, we say normal. There are two classifications. We have this one, and we have the JNC7, and we have the JNC6. We have the American standard. Okay, that one is not here. We have the American Hypertension Society, and those also they also have their classification. Okay, that one is for heart failure. No, that one is for heart failure. That one is for heart failure. So when we get to heart failure, we'll learn about that. So we have stage 1 to stage 3. We have stage 1, 140 to 150 systolic, 90 to 99 diastolic. We say stage 1. Stage 2, 160 to 179, 100 to 109 diastolic. Anything more than stage 3, 180 and diastolic more than 110, we say is what? Stage 3 hypertension. And this one is very serious. So the severity comes in the stages. Do you understand? So when we say high normal, we say for high normal, it is what? When it's between 130 to 139 and 80 to 89. Yeah. We also have another classification here, but another one now they classified. They brought it down into. See, they are series. We have JN6, JN7. So we have the JN7. We have pre-hypertension. Then we have stage 1 and stage 2. So when we say it's between 129 to 139, we say the person is if it hasn't hit it doesn't cross or hit or cross the 140/90, we say, and it's between 120 and 130, we say there is what? It's pre-hypertensive. And so you as an naturopathist, what do you have to do at this point? This is where your education comes in. Because you are doing more of preventive, right? I hope you are doing more of preventive, right? Yes. So as preventive, if a patient comes to your facility with what? With in a pre-hypertensive state. This point, that is where you come to what you tend to look out for. What are the risk factors, or what are the things that this patient is doing that is making this patient predisposed to essential hypertension? Is the patient smoking? Is he taking excess alcohol? Is the patient taking excess alcohol? Is the patient how do you call it? Inactive. The patient not exercise. The patient is living a sedentary life. What at all is making this patient have BP? Then you look out for it and help the patient out. We have the genetic factors. So we have we talked about the definition, the classification. We are talking about the etiology. Then we go to the pathophysiology, diagnosis, and what treatment. So we have the genetic factors, environmental factors, and other factors. So multiple genes rather than single gene disorder. The genetic distribution of BP is 30% to 60%. So family history of BP can cause you to have BP. Your parents had it. The chances of you having it is high. It doesn't mean that you get it. It's a probability. So if you're able to check yourself very well, you don't get it. But majority of people also get it. Because the lifestyle that the parents are living is the same the child is also living. So they all get it. So you enter a house and grandmother has BP medicine, father has BP medicine, son has BP medicine. You understand? Depending on their ages. Environmental factors, sodium intake, alcohol intake, smoking, stress. These are environmental factors. You understand? There are some that you can do something about, and there are some that you cannot do anything about. Preventable and non-preventable factors, like the genetic, you can't do anything. If it is in the genes, what you can do is to take care of yourself very well. You understand? Then we have the obesity, hyperuricemia, sleep apneas. These are other causes of what? Of hypertension. Okay. And these ones, they are what? They are not secondary to anything. They occur on their own. You understand?
So I think I have a question.
Yes. Let me pause here. If you have any question, let's start asking our question. Maybe when we're
Okay, so for the genetic factors, that's where I have the problem.
Okay.
It's like maybe a parent gave a birth to a child, and the child didn't stay with the parent, but still had the BP. So for the genetic factors, I need more clarification.
Oh, genetic means, gene. It's in the genes. Don't you see that people they say it's in their family? This is, for instance, conditions like diabetes, Parkinson's disease, Graves' disease, hypertension. There is a genetic something. It's genetic. But then as I'm saying that, fine, it's genetic, all right. But if you also, check yourself very well, you are very particular, check yourself, you tend to skip it. But if you don't check yourself well, that is when your chance of getting it very high. So those who have genetic, they tend to get it very early. If they don't check themselves, you'll get it very early. At the very tender age. Because it's in the family, they also get it.
Okay, so checking yourself, that statement that's making me confused.
Checking yourself is about your dieting and your lifestyle and regular.
So that's why I'm saying if the child didn't stay with the parent and living a different lifestyle, but still had BP.
Did you have an instance like that?
Yes.
You have an instance like that?
Yes.
Then I think he's followed through directional about experience behaving. Doesn't care.
Can we come in?
With them.
You can come in. You can come in.
Yeah,
I
I'm
said
thinking.
you are following the same direction.
Have your
about
discussion. I'm
experience,
coming in.
but not matter that he stay with them.
Please, Mr. Peter Ofori, please can you come again?
I said that you are saying that the person don't stay with your parents,
Yes.
but you get it. Or
Yes. Yes.
and then I said that maybe he changed the environment, but the same principle about behaving, about experience, is following there. So you can get it too.
Okay. So the reason why I am saying that he or she didn't stay with the parent is because of the lifestyle. Maybe in my father's client like this, it's easily he will die of kidney issues or stroke because of this hypertension. Now we have people that they don't eat akpele at all. They don't do things that even my fathers eat, but still had it. That's my point.
Normally, if you check the research is showing that so many sorting and lack of exercise, lack of and sitting in the one place, normally people get that disease. So if you are not or no matter that you are eating akpele or fufu, but if you don't put yourself well, manage yourself very well, then automatically that you will get it.
Managing yourself, that's the problem I'm having.
No, okay, so let me come in. Yeah, so it's basically lifestyle. Sometimes
I wanted to say.
That's why you're saying
Yeah,
that
Mr.
sometimes
William.
there's something that the person is doing that you might not know. Maybe the person is fine, but maybe the person has family issues with it. The person has got some broken heart you are not aware of. The person is thinking about money. Now, research has also made us know that finances also causes BP. Stress, it causes stress of the mind. Even I'm getting some. Right now, my money is not even enough for me. So we are all getting stress in the brain.
Yes, sir.
Financial BP, there are plenty.
BMS.
Yes, sir.
Mr. William want to talk. So.
You know, first of all, concerning the
When BMS is down there,
genetics, already there is a prune. You have a prune. It's in the gene pool.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you don't eat the akpele, you don't eat the red meat and those things. Any small thing that will trigger, any lifestyle that is not even related to your family tree lifestyle can trigger, because you are prone. By your genetic pool, you are prone to. So from every angle, maybe you are eating right, you are doing everything all right, then a lady began to give you a pressure, or your wife began to give you pressure. You easily go into it, simple, because in your gene pool, you are prone to. That is how
Evans is a victim of that. Yeah, he's a victim of that. Yeah.
So I think Sir William want to talk also.
Yeah, Sir William. I'm Wami.
All right, thank you very much. I think what you were saying has to do with a miasmatic influence. There might be a change of an originally existing disease. Maybe it may not be hypertension. It may be maybe syphilis. Let's say your father had untreated syphilis, met with your mother, and had you. So if you go throughout life, you're observing the right things, and yet you abuse painkillers. At a certain point in time, you can develop heart disease. You can develop hypertension. So I think where he's coming from has to do with miasmatic influence. I stand to be corrected anyway. So that is just the idea I wanted to put up.
Thank you. Any other Any other additions? Okay, so that is it. So we are ending our class here. I don't want to start the pathophysiology today. Yeah, the mind has taken a lot. This one will drain you. So I want to, it's a RAS system and all those ones. It involves a lot. So I'll end here. You go and revise on all that you've said last for today. Next time when we are meeting on Friday. We'll talk about it and we'll continue. Okay? If there's no other question, then we can close here and call it a day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Lady Zuzu, are you there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good class.
Lady Zuzu. She went out of class. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Bye.
Slides will be shared.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Bye-bye.